All right, we're going to go and get started today. Parents, my goal tonight is to try to do this in 45 minutes. We'll see. That might be tough. We got a lot to go through. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Travis Seibert. I'm the junior high pastor here, and we'll talk a little bit more about the river, stuff like that. My goal today is to make you parents feel more comfortable about letting your students go. Some of you are like, my kid's never been this far away from me. I'm crazy for doing this, and I'm going to help you feel like, okay, just go. Get out of here. So I want to do that today, and then I also want to get details to where you feel like you're ready also, that you got everything together. Things are going to go smooth. But let me go and open us in a word of prayer, and then let's get started. Dear God, I just want to thank you so much for who you are, Lord. And I just pray as we take off on these whitewater rafting trips, Lord, I ultimately pray that, Lord, that you would do amazing things in these students' lives. Lord, I pray that they would come back changed and more on fire for you, Lord. Lord, I pray that you would help tonight be a meeting that helps some of these parents that are maybe a little nervous. Lord, would you calm their nerves and help them be ready to let these students go, Lord. Lord, we love you and thank you for all you've done in your name. Amen. So like I said, my name's Travis, and I'm the junior high pastor here, and I know some of you are probably a little worried about sending your son or daughter on a whitewater rafting trip, and I want you to know this is my 26th year going on this trip. And if you look at a lot of the years we do 2 trips, I'm well over 40 trips up and down the California coast up to the Klamath River. And we are up on this river, the Klamath River, and it is an amazing, amazing place. And you're like, Trev, but why do you go so far? You could go to the American River. You could go to the Kern River. And just so you guys know, one of its costs, you're like, there's no way it's cheaper. It would be 3 times as much to go to the Kern or to the American River than where we go. So we get a way better price in that realm. Plus, it's a Christian company that actually has their own property on the river. So if you're like, I want to know where my student is, GPS location kind of thing, there are 2 things. Actually, it's crazy. I think that on Google, Adventure Whitewater is what the company's called. I think it's finally a pinpoint up there. But if you want another one, it's Cottage Grove, California, not Oregon. Cottage Grove, California will actually take you right to where you are because it used to be a town. And then in the winter floods, there's 100-year floods that kind of flood a little bit and they had to get rid of the town. So it's right there, Cottage Grove, if you want to know where we are, but we're on the Klamath River. It is amazing. And here's another reason why we go. Is these 3 days, we raft 3 days. The 8th grade, there's a 4th day that we go to Clear Creek, jump off rocks and stuff like that. But this river is what you call a 2+/3 river. And so there are 2 rapids on there that are considered class 3 that are a little bit more technical, but all the rest are class 2. And to give you context, a waterfall is class 6. A 4 and a 5 are very technical, where you have to wear helmets. They can be really dangerous, and our best ones are these 3s. And so some students go, wait, but that's it. But they're just fun enough, just technical enough, just kind of enough to where you're kind of still a little scared as you're going down it. So it's kind of the perfect world of where they're easy rapids, but just a little bit of excitement. Parents, to let you know, if I was to just put my left vest on and start at the top of these 3 stretches, I could float down all 3 stretches and I would live, okay? I would be banged up. I would be sore. I would be hating my life, but I would live. And so it is not a dangerous river in that realm. It's actually, it's perfect for junior high. Junior highers, the funnest part you will see is we're always warring. We're jumping off boats, attacking other boats. Like it's an amazing trip. Okay, so I will be able to answer more questions and make you feel more and more comfortable as we go. But first thing I want to do is I actually want to go through our itinerary, and I should have had that as the first page. It's your second page, and I want to go through this, and I also want to let you know something real quick. There is something about us getting away in the mountains, away from everything, away from cell phones, away from some of the friends that you're glad aren't going on this trip. And it's crazy to see what God does. And here's what we have learned. It takes us a day and a half to 2 days to get up there. And it seems like, wow, that's crazy. But here's what I've learned. And I've been talking to even a lot of people out there. They said that it takes sometimes when people go on vacation, it takes 2 days to almost forget about your life, where you just were. And it's crazy. We take 2 days to get up there. So when they get on the river, it's almost like they're ready now for God to do something in their life. It's pretty awesome. So it is a great trip. Our itinerary, here's what we do. Both trips, now I'm talking, there's a 7th, 8th grade trip. 7th grade, you are leaving this Sunday. I hope you know that. You're leaving this Sunday, and it is a 7-day trip. 7th graders, 7-day trip. It is Sunday to Saturday. And then 8th grade trip, it is a Sunday, the 24th, to the other Sunday. It's an 8-day trip. 8th grade, 8-day trip. And so both of you on the Sundays, we will get here. We want you to get here at 7:30, okay? Because we want to try to leave as close to 8:15 as possible. So we'd love for you to get in your like trap, but where is here? It is actually past the junior high room over there in that corner, kind of where the volleyball court and basketball courts are, over in that area. Okay, so you're going to get here at 7:30. If you want to be early, great. I will be here at 5:45. It'd be nice if you aren't all here at that time, because then I won't know what to do with you. But we'll be getting our vans ready, stuff like that. But you will show up, and then we will take up the California. Pretty much up the coast, up the 5, the whole entire way. The first day up to Sacramento. Okay, so we'll get up to Sacramento. 8th grade is staying at Bayside Church, which is, they're both on the 80 freeway, just Bayside's east, and then 7th grade stays at Vacaville, which is west. And they're both about 15, 20 minutes off the 5 freeway. We're staying at churches there, so that'll be our first night. And then we're going to take off the next morning, and we will head up to what it's called Cottage Grove on the map, but really it's called Paradise Point now. It's been renamed to Paradise Point. We take off to Paradise Point where we will be the rest of the week. So what'll happen is they'll raft they'll raft Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, 7th grade goes home. 8th grade, Friday, we go to a place called Clear Creek, and it is amazing. We take these, it's a 6-mile drive up to the top. It's a mile hike to this area where we can just jump off cliffs the whole 2 or 3 hours. It's unbelievable. Some of you parents heard cliffs and like, are you crazy? And I'll be honest with you, they're somewhere in that 15 feet to like 24 feet. So they're just high enough that they're scary, but they're just low enough that if they face plant, it's not a big deal. Okay. So it is perfect for doing that kind of stuff. It is amazing. So that's what 8th grade gets to do. And then 8th grade, we'll be doing baptism, stuff like that on that Friday. 7th grade, you leave Friday, you get back Saturday. 8th grade, we will leave Saturday and we'll get back Sunday. We will get back here. This is a hard one, is we typically, it's a window, okay? We're going from Sacramento that last day. It could be anywhere from 7 to 9, depending on traffic. It also depends on how many bathroom breaks and how long meal stops and all that stuff could do that. So we will try to keep you guys updated. You will see later, we have a texting service and all that stuff that we will keep you updated probably starting on noon that last day. So, and here's the thing, we might even tell you at noon, we're on time. Actually, we're 15 minutes early. Well, really, you only want to know what's happening an hour before, but at least you have an idea, just in case I say we're already 2 hours late, then you would know. But otherwise, so we will keep that updated for you probably almost every hour and a half as we're going on that trip. Okay, so a couple things for you to know is this. On the ride up and back, Your students, I've had questions like, are they allowed to have cell phones? Yes, they are. Are you crazy, Travis? Well, here's the thing. It's up to you if you want them to take them. We're going to have rules. They're not allowed to use the cell phones in the cars because we don't want them glued to their cell phone. We want them talking with students. But I know that some of you parents, you want to keep track of where your kids are. That's why you gave them a cell phone, those of you that gave them cell phones. And you want them to be able to check in at rest stops. So we will let them pull those out at rest stops. But that's the only time they're going to use it. Now, here's the problem. Once we get to Paradise Point, there is no cell service, no Wi-Fi, nothing. And there's no electricity to charge them. And we're right by water. So you might choose to say, you know what? We're not going to give you the phone. Okay? And then some of you guys are like, but what happens if anything happens? Well, here's what I want you to know. Those of you that are worried, if you don't hear from us, they're doing great. You do not want a call. And if it's a call, I will still call you with a really calm voice, but you just don't want me to call, okay? So no news is really, really good news, okay, on this trip. So you just want to be like, get out of here. I don't want to hear anything until you get back, and then I can hear all your stories, okay? But they are welcome to bring cell phones if they want, okay? So, and like I said, we're going to probably get back somewhere in that 7 to 9 frame. Yes. All right. Next one is this, the front page. I just want to go this real quick, and it's important for you guys just to know some of these students. You need to listen up to some of this pretty quick here. In the vans, always wear your seatbelts. Parents, we are very strict about that. It is the law, okay? But my leaders, and here's the hard part is, we are strict about it, and we still need your students to make sure they put them on, okay? You know what's weird is, I say this every year, and we've gotten more. People put them on more now, so I don't have to remind them, but there was a time when it was crazy. Okay, students, help your drivers out by whatever they say. So it is important when they're driving. Here's the cool part. When we're driving, you guys can have fun. You can be laughing. You're going to be playing games. But if they are like, it needs to quiet the volume, you need to help them out because they are driving you. This is important. Bathroom stops. Whenever we stop to go to the bathroom, you have to go to the bathroom or you have to try. Parents, we stop at almost every rest stop on the California 5 freeway. I know every single one of them, okay? I have nicknames for them all, okay? And as we're going up there, you need to understand we're going to have about 130 to 145 each week. And it is crazy. If we stop at a rest stop, we can use the restroom. 140 to 50 people, we can do it in 15 minutes, maybe 18. We have to stop at McDonald's, and it could take an hour and a half. Because McDonald's only have one stall, and you're like, what the heck? And it is crazy. And so it is important you go, even if you're like, no, I'm tired, I'm going to slip in that. Nope, get out, go to the bathroom, okay? Students, just so you know, you may not get out of the vans till there's an okay, just in case, because we might make emergency stops, and if you're just used to, well, the van stopped, I'm getting out. It's like, no, you can only get out when we tell you, all right, let's get out. Okay, another thing about the vans is van assignments are going to be according to your small groups, okay? 8th grade, I pretty much have all your van assignments done. Now, I know there's about 6, 7 spots left, so if 6 or 7 people sign up, I might have to do some tweaking to get everyone in. It's kind of my gift. I can on the fly figure out something. But there is no switching out of your vans at all. If you want to barter with me and try and convince me, you're welcome to talk to me, and I'll see if I can do magic, but there's no guarantee, there's no switching, because we want to know how many every van so that I make sure no one's ever left behind. And so that is important, no switching at all. You are not allowed to switch without come talking to me, and I'll probably still say no, okay? Parents, this happens every once in a while. Somehow there's a glitch in the computer that it says your son or daughter is in this small group, but they're really not. And right before we're about to leave, all of a sudden there will be tears because like I'm not in the mouth with all my friends, and I'm going to go, oh my goodness, this is crazy. But you got to understand something. One of my spiritual gifts is I can rearrange on the fly. But here's what you need to do. You might have to be in that van for the first 35 minutes to an hour, and then I promise I'll work magic, and then you'll be happy. Okay, so don't cry yet. Okay, if I can't work magic on in an hour or two, then you can cry and then you can yell at me and all that stuff, and then I'll say, God, I thought that was my gift. Okay, so, next one is this. At the campsite, parents, just so you know, when we get to the campsite, this is crazy. We don't sleep in tents. You notice we haven't talked about tents? We don't sleep in tents. We sleep out under the stars. Students, if you've never experienced that, it is amazing. You're going to bed and you're just going to gaze at all the shooting stars up there. It is going to be awesome. So when we get to camp, first thing we're gonna do is unload, and then, yes, parents, we do separate the guys and the girls. The girls are all the way over kind of by the kitchen area, the closest, so when they want food, it's easier for them to get to. The guys are way over here in the desert, kind of. No, I'm just kidding, but we're way over here. We're sleeping out in the open. To be honest with you, I love that we don't do tents. One, I don't have to set them up and tear them down. But secondly, you can't hide anything. No one can sneak out in the middle of the, blah, blah, blah. You see everything. So it is awesome. It is a lot of fun, okay? Leaving campsites, I know I have to say to students, but every time we leave anywhere, can you make sure that your stuff gets loaded in the trailer? A few years ago, we were driving, taking off, and all loaded up. We got, 20 vans or something like that. We're taking off, and then the leader's like, hey, is that someone's bag by that tree over there? There was a student's bag by a tree that was about 20 feet away from the trailer. We were already leaving. We had to stop and go grab that. We would have left it, and here's the problem. If we leave and we discover it was missing 3 hours later, we are not going back, okay? Mom and Dad, you can drive all the way up to Paradise Point if you want, or you can just donate it to whoever finds it. So please make sure your stuff gets loaded and all that stuff and nothing's left behind. Part of the week while they're up there at Paradise Point, we will be having morning meetings. And it's awesome. We'll get up in the morning and have breakfast. We'll have a quick little Devo in the morning with some worship, and then students will go do some small group time for about 20, 30 minutes. And then we come back, and it's sunscreen party. Everyone gets sunscreen up. We go rafting the whole day. And then at night, we always have a sermon that, for the whole week, we'll have a speaker and worship and games, and it is awesome. On the river, students, make sure you're listening to your rafting assignments each day. That is important. Because of our size, we have 3 stretches of the river. We split our youth group into 3 different rafting groups, and they all experience each stretch of the river, but we all do it differently. It's crazy how that works. And so you need to listen to your rafting assignments, or you will not get to raft with your friends, all right? While you're on there, you must be listening to your rafting guides the whole entire time, all right? Parents, just so you know, they have to keep their life vests on the whole time they're on the river, and that is a big deal. And so students, you need to leave those on when you're on the boats. Now, parents, just so you know, it's not like people just start taking off their life vests all the time, but it's just a reminder that you need to be doing that, okay? Students, with you, if you have any questions or something goes wrong, you need to go talk to your small group leader or your director. It's on the sheet, okay? 7th grade boys and girls, that's James and Kate, or your small group leader. 8th grade boys and girls, it's DJ and Macy, or your small group leader. Here's what I do want you to know, and parents, if you have students who are like, they don't like to tell if there's a problem, encourage them. If we don't know there's something going wrong, we can't help. We want you to have a great trip. We want to know what's going on so we can help. So just make sure you talk to the right people, and normally it'll trickle up to me, and then I like to solve problems and see if I can help out in some way, okay? Oh, check-in process. So when you get here, this is huge. You're going to get here. You're going to see trailers already opened up, ready to go, as long as you're not here at 5:45, okay? But if you get here between that 7 and 7:30 window, we will have our trailers ready. And here's what's going to happen is you are first going to drop your luggage off at the boy or girl trailer. There will be a sign. There will be 2 the trailers drop. There's a boy one and a girl one. If you're a boy, you're going to go to the boy one, girl to the girl one, and you will drop off your trailer. The reason why we do that is when we put you to sleep, we take those trailers to those sleeping areas to help us unload. It's awesome. Okay, so you're going to do that. Well, on the trailer, around the trailer, there will actually be your van assignments. And so you'll be able to go, you're a boy van, it'll have a boy trailer, you'll see all your van assignments, and you'll be like, oh my goodness, I'm in van number 7. You're gonna go check in, not too far, there's a table. You are then gonna check in real quick at the table to make sure that you're checked in so we know you're there. Listen, that's important. Some of you guys are like, I'm here, I did everything. We don't know you're here. And there have been times where we've been waiting like 15 minutes to leave, and the 3 students that we're waiting for had already been here like like at 7, and you're like, dang it, we would have left 15 minutes ago. So please check in. That helps us know who's there, who's not. And then after you check in, I would then immediately run to your van and start getting your cool seats, or start like, hey, we're going to be in the way back. We're going to be here, that kind of stuff. All right. And then you're just waiting until we're ready to go. Parents, you are welcome to stay and hang out and watch us leave. We'll do a huge train that takes off. Or if you're like, I got my kid here, peace out, I'm home. Either one. They both work. Okay. All right. Last thing is this. This is important. The camp updates. It's on there. You can either text, and I think we have it right. Well, first of all, our Whitewater Hype is our Instagram that you can search on Instagram right there, that you can post pictures. And this right here is, if you text those 7th grade trip, you're going to text that to 81010. And then 8th grade, then they're pretty simple. Those right there will sign you up to where now you will be on our text service, that we will update you, anything that's going on. Hey, this happened, the cool stuff, all those things like that. You want to do that. So if you can, I would do that right now, okay? And then the last thing is this. Let me see if anything else in this. Okay. Last thing I want to go over, and it's not the last thing, but last thing of your sheets is that the things to bring list. It's pretty self-explanatory, but there's still stuff I'm going to go over with you. And I apologize if you already saw us and you went shopping and then I clarify and I would have saved you money. I apologize. But some things, first of all, everything must fit in a medium-sized suitcase or a duffel bag. And if I were you, I would do the duffel bag, because we can only fit medium-sized suitcases, but the duffel bag we can fit as big as you want. Okay, if it can fit your whole kid in there, that is fine. Those things are awesome, because the big duffel bags are like movable, like you can adjust and it stacks easier. That would be the best option. They want to bring a backpack with them. The backpack is a great bag that will have with them probably a sweatshirt if they get cold. Their water bottle would be in there. Their money, any snacks that you want to provide for, have them take up, or some games and stuff like that. But you want that backpack on you. So for instance, students, make sure your wallet is always in your backpack, not in your bag, because that'll get packed and we won't unload that till 8 p.m. each day until we get on the river. All right. A Bible, a pen, a sleeping bag, a sleeping mat or foam pad. They don't have to bring this. In fact, most students we're sleeping on the ground, but because we're sleeping on the ground, if you had kind of a camping one, it works great. We don't allow them to bring the blow-up mattresses. My leaders will have some of those, and we let them because we need them to not complain and be in pain. But I cannot blow up 100 and something mattresses, and then the kids fight, and someone gets popped, and now they're fighting over the one that got popped. No, we don't do that. But there are those rolling ones or whatever that like self-inflate a little bit. Those are great. Okay, any one of those, or there's any kind of those things, just no air mattresses, and no cots either, because we can't fit. If everyone brought a cot, we could not fit all the cots in there, so sorry, no cots. A pillow, a sturdy plastic plate, knife, fork, and spoon. Okay, so once we get up there, they cook all our meals, but we have to have our own plate, and they teach us how to wash our own stuff. Isn't this great? So if your kids have never done dishes, they're going to do dishes for once. Is that awesome? So you don't need to go buy this. If you had some type of plastic sturdy plate or even a bowl, the bigger the better, because they're just putting the food on the plate. That is great. Silverware. You can either give them real silverware that you're like, I don't care if you lose it. Or you can go to the store and buy, what you could do is you could buy a 12-pack of the plastic fork, knives, and spoons. And that way, if they're eating, they break one, okay, grab another one. I think that's like $1 or $2 or something like that. Or you can tell them to buy to the 99-cent store on the way up, as long as they don't forget, okay? And we'll talk about the 99-cent store in just a minute. Okay, water bottle. It'd be nice if you have like a Hydro Flask kind of water bottle. That is a great thing to have, that they can fill with water and they have it the whole week. I would just encourage you to have tape with their name on it or something so they just know it's theirs. Or you can write on the water bottle or have cool stickers that identifies that's their water bottle. Okay, now I apologize if this was not communicated. A lot of you know about this. Some did not know about about meals. we are driving up. It's 4 meals on the way up, 4 meals on the way back that your student is responsible for. It's a bummer. I used to say just bring like $40 is fine. Well, now food is like skyrocketed, and now you can if your kid is savvy, you can get still meals under $5, but most of the meals are now somewhere in that $8 to $10. So that's why I said 70 to 80 on there, but they're responsible for that. Some of you are like, here's the hard part is, it's 4 meals on the way up, 4 meals on the way back. So, that means my kid has to budget money. Yes. Okay, and some of they've never budgeted before in their life, they are gonna learn. Now, some of you that are like, no, I know my kid, they are not budgeting, okay, then I have a solution for you. All you have to do is get 8 sandwich bags and split up 1 for each meal. You know, you put anywhere from like $6 to $10 in each baggie, and you write on it meal 1, meal 2, and then I'm gonna help you out because we're gonna stop like 30 times, but when we get to meal stop 1, I'll be like, this is meal stop 1. This is meal stop 4. I still remember the one student that he brought, his parents gave him like, I think $200, okay? And we were talking, I'm like, how much money do you have left? He's like, oh, I got $50 left. And I'm like, $50? Like, we've only been to 1 meal stop. He's like, no, we've stopped 5 times. I'm like, yeah, but those weren't all meal stops. That was meal stop 1 and little rest stops. And so I don't know how he made it work, but I think he was able to make the 50 last the last part of the trip. It was crazy. That was when food was only $5 a meal. But yes, I will help them out by saying how many meal stops. This is meal stop 3, so you still have 5 meal stops left, stuff like that. Okay, mosquito repellent is nice to have. Waterproof sunblock, yes, we will make them put waterproof sunblock on. We're gonna have them put sunblock on before we go rafting. And then we try to pack in our dry bags, we'll pack 2 to 3 sunscreens in each group. And when kids get out of the water during lunch break, we try to have them, hey, put more sunscreen on, put more sunscreen on. Lip balm is good. Moisturizer or skin lotion if they need that. Outdoor clothes. If you're like, how many clothes do I need? This is a hard one, but it's not too bad. I tend to bring, we live in our swimsuits, okay? So I tend to bring like maybe 3 to 4 board shorts for the whole week and maybe a shirt for each day, but even then sometimes we don't need that because a lot of times your students will have a rash guard or have a shirt that's kind of their rafting shirt that they're gonna wear on the raft the whole week, and sometimes they just live in that until maybe at night they put something else on. Definitely underwear, for a week is great. But otherwise, they don't need much more than that. I probably pack like 1 to 2 pairs of pants just in case it's cold, 1 sweatshirt or 2 just in case. It tends to be pretty hot. And then clothes to sleep in. Swimsuits, definitely girls has to be appropriate. So we tell you have to either wear a 1-piece or a modest tankini. If you're like, my kids do not have that, my girls do not, then unfortunately, then they have to wear actually like a rash guard the whole time, over, which I won't lie, because of a rash guard or a shirt or something, but something over their bathing suit. We want them to be modest, but I won't lie to you, like because of the sun, I would encourage people to wearing shirts anyways a lot of times so they're not just fried after the end of the week. Board shorts are great. Even girls, it's great if you can have some short to go over your bathing suit because we're sitting on the raft and it's just way more comfortable, okay? 2 towels, 1 for showers, 1 for swimming. They're not going to get to take a lot of showers, but luckily we live in the water, but they are allowed up at camp 1 shower. Otherwise, we waste all the water and all that stuff. Toothbrush, toothpaste, toiletries, deodorant, please. Okay, listen, if you have never tried deodorant before, there's this thing that actually makes you smell good. It's really cool. And you're starting to sweat, and maybe you didn't know sweat before, but you're going to learn sweat on this trip. So if you've never tried deodorant, this would be a great time to try. Like, you know what? Maybe you can go shop with the mom and dad this week and go, let's go smell some great ones. Ooh, I like that one. Mom and dad, maybe splurge, okay? We'll, instead of getting the $3 one, we'll get the $6 one, whatever. And this would be a great time for them to learn to wear deodorant. We would all love that, okay? 1 roll of toilet paper to be safe. Now, I will say this, students, this is going to be crazy. We are going to live in outhouses. I know, it's a bummer. The cool part is this, when we go rafting, they clean them while we're gone rafting, so it's cool. So at least they're clean, okay? But toilet paper's just in case they run out, but actually they're really good at supplying it and all that stuff, but it's just something that is nice to have. A flashlight, a hat that can get wet. A hat that can get wet and maybe even lost. In fact, if you're like, we don't have one of those, we're going to go stop at a 99-cent store right before we get on the river. Tell them, here's $1, buy another hat, okay? Baby wipes, okay? Listen, they don't need to bring this, but it's a lifesaver. See, you can use them to wash your feet, like to wipe down your feet. I'll take them to the bathroom, and then I can wipe down the whole entire outhouse, and then I know it's clean. All right, and then I can go to the bathroom. So baby wipes are amazing. Sandals that they can wear around camp. Okay, any type of sandal they are allowed to wear around camp. And so hopefully they have all that. This next thing, you shouldn't have to buy this, but they need an extra pair of old shoes to wear rafting. They will have to have a rafting type shoe. So here's the thing is, they are not allowed to wear, we don't let them wear Tevas or Chacos, which are pretty awesome to wear because unfortunately our first 2 years we did this 20-something years ago, every kid banged their feet. Now kids don't want to raft, and I won't lie, we let leaders do it, and then a lot of them complain, and they're like, dang, I jacked my feet. So even my leaders that have done that now wear what I'm telling your students to wear is if they can just have a lace-up old shoe. It can even have holes in it. It can be like just a little tight, is fine. But they need something that they can get wet, and then here's the thing is you can just tell them to throw it away when they're done. Hey, I don't want that nasty, wet shoe coming back in. You just throw it away, okay? But that's all you need. And then it says a rafting sock. All that is they need a pair of socks that will be their designated their rafting sock for the whole week. They're going to be wet, but they're going to dry in the sun, and then they're going to be wet again, but they wear it with the shoe, because if they wear no socks with the shoe, they will have tons of blisters. And so that sock protects from blisters. That's all they need to do. And again, they can throw that sock away too, because it's probably going to be destroyed after a week of rafting. Optional stuff, camera. If they want to bring one of those water resistant ones, that's great. Just put your name on it, okay? We have some students bring the water resistant legit cameras that are GoPros and stuff like that. They're fine, but I just want to be honest with you. About 30-40% of our students, they come off and then they go to the bottom of the water and we can't get them. So we lose at least 3 or 4 every year. So unless you have a great setup, or we had one student that just forgot to put it in the waterproof protected case, went out there and then went in the water, jumped in the water and went, oh, I forgot to put it in the case. And it's like, well, that was done. So, but you're welcome to bring those if you want. A rash guard is great to have if you already have one. Sunglasses are great. Again, don't buy sunglasses. Give them an extra $1 and say at the dollar store on the way up, get a pair of sunglasses. That's very cheap. Now, I put on your extra spending money. That is up for you. It's hard and expensive trip. The trip is already ridiculously expensive. I know my daughter's going. So, and then all the food meals that I'm giving her, it's not a cheap trip. But if you want to give them extra spending money for all those little stops where we go to the gas stations, that's up to you. You're welcome to do that. I want to encourage, you're also welcome to give them tons of snacks to take up in the vans, and maybe they can share and they'll be heroes to the whole van, okay? Extra group games they can play, traveling group games, they can play games in the car. They're welcome to bring some of those. Motion sickness pills, if they struggle with that, it's great to have it. We only really have students get sick the last hour and a half because we get off on the river and we're going like this, and then we get to Whitewater, and then we go home. So it's really the only 2 times. Otherwise, we're on the 5 free the whole entire way, except for the 80 for like 15 minutes. But that's it. So it's really easy driving. It's just that. So if you're worried about that, and then I put candy and snacks and stuff like that. Please no iPads, handheld video games, skateboards, vape pens. Believe it or not, we've been getting that more and more at church, which parents, this is an announcement only for Whitewater. Like, We're starting to have more and more students bring them. If you're hearing rumors that your kids might know about that, then maybe check them would be great, because we're catching that more and more. I guess it's just very popular and easy to get. So, but please, none of those. No weapons, lighters, fireworks, water toys, attitudes, anything that you can't replace. I have to list all that because those are things that have all been brought, okay? A couple more things. Jeez, I'm trying to hurry. Okay, here we go. Students, be responsible for your money. We have had students that go to McDonald's and then we take off and we're 30 minutes down the road and they realize they threw away their wallet with their trash. Luckily, they told us within 15, 30 minutes and we were able to go back, but we don't normally. Once we're past a certain point, we're like, well, I guess we'll figure out how to get you food for the rest of the trip. So please be careful with your money. If I were you, don't bring anything that's valuable. Parents, don't buy them all this cool, legit stuff so they can show it off, because it's probably going to get ruined. So nothing very valuable, because we're just having a great time, but man, things get ruined, okay? Just so you're aware, I don't know, every year is different, but Adventure Whitewater does sell Adventure Whitewater gear. Like last year we got there, they didn't have any left. They were sold out. But if your son or daughter is one of those students that are like, Mom, Dad, I need to have it. And you're like, I just spent already $500. Are you crazy? But if you're worried that's your son or daughter, only about 20 to 25% of students buy stuff from Adventure Whitewater. So it's not like everyone has Adventure Whitewater gear and your son or daughter is left out. No, it's not true. But if you're the parents who are like, I want to be able to get that, it's not cheap. Sweatshirts are like $30. T-shirts are $15 to $20. So it's not cheap, but I'm just giving you a heads up. If you were like, I wish I would have known, I would have sent my son or daughter with money, I'm letting you know now, okay? Medication. We have week 1, Drew Besant. He's a fireman who, for Carlsbad, actually, I shouldn't even say fireman because he got a promotion. I just can't remember what his rank is, but it's pretty high. There we go. He's a captain now. So it's pretty legit. So he will be coming, right? So, okay. Yeah, so he will be coming week 1. He is awesome. He's a veteran, went when he was a student. Then he was actually on my paid staff for a year, so it was pretty cool. I'm excited to have him coming back. He'll be our medic the first week. The second week, another kind of legend for us, a guy named Dr. Jim Groth. He's actually a doctor in Oceanside, and he's gone on several trips from Rhea and hasn't gone in like 15 years, and he's coming back. I'm so excited for him to come back. So they will be there right when you check in. If there's medication that you need to check in, you can check in with them. Here's the thing is, if you have certain medicine that your kids take and you're comfortable, they take it all the time, it's theirs, we're okay with that. That is okay. But if you need to check in, you want to come find them and you want to give that to them and they'll take care of it. And there are medics for the whole week, and their experience have done this a lot. So it's going to be a lot of fun on this trip. 8th grade, parents, just so you know, we are doing a baptism, and it's something that is kind of popular, and I want you to know if it's something where you're like, hey, I don't want my son or daughter to get baptized, I want them to wait till we can see them, then you need to have a conversation with them right now to say, hey, can you hold off, please? We take video footage and we take pictures, and they'll all be online. So we will have that available, but it's something to talk through to them. We try to make sure we ask them questions. Have they accepted Jesus Christ? Do they really want to do this? Just to make sure that we're not just like, everyone jump in. But it is pretty special. It's a pretty amazing place to get baptized. So I want to warn you about that. Already talked about the drop-off stuff. Almost done. Students, now this is what you really need to hear. One is this. I have 5 rules for you that are very important. One is this. You must participate in everything we do, okay? Listen, we're not doing a lot of crazy stuff, but you need to participate in everything. If we're going rafting, you're rafting. If we're going to go at the rest stop to the bathroom, we're all going to the bathroom. If we're going, whatever it is, you need to participate in everything we do. Second thing that's very important is you must eat something at all meals. Parents, this is something as big as this is not a time for your kids to starve or to try to lose weight or something like that. And we don't know their eating habits. And because we don't know, they actually have to eat at every meal. And if you're like, but we only eat 2 meals, well, they have to eat. Now, they don't have to eat a lot. If it's like, hey, can you at least eat that apple? Can you at least, we're not saying you better gorge yourself, but they have to eat something at every meal. And that's pretty important for us because we don't know your eating habits, and so we're gonna make you have to eat. So that is a big deal. Okay, so students, be aware of that. Third thing is be on your best behavior, and what that means is no practical jokes. Okay, I am sorry, this is not a time for pranks, and I know it's awesome. That's what people used to do at camp. Here's the problem: is someone always gets hurt. So that means no shaving cream, no X-Lax or something like that. You laugh, but we had kids found some on the side of the river in this thing that was disgusting, and they put like 5 of them in a drink and tried to give it to a leader. Leader had no idea. Luckily, a student stopped the leader. But here's the thing is practical jokes, shaving cream, water by someone's bed so they pee there, all those things, they seem fun and they are fun, but someone always is the one that gets hurt. That always is the one that's humiliated. And I want you to know something. That's who I stick up for. So when you humiliate and make fun of people that I feel like is maybe the weak, that makes me upset. In fact, you find out in the Bible, that's only 2 times that God gets angry is people that take advantage of the weak and people that keep others from coming to him. That's the only time you see him rage. And so that's a big deal to me. So no practical jokes at all. Okay, we have so much fun. There's no need to do those things. And then students, also you must respect and obey all the leaders. Parents, just so you know, when it comes to camps, or not even camps, anything junior high related, when it comes to discipline, we will not touch your daughter or son. We do not touch them, okay? We're gonna be playing in the boats. We're gonna be wrestling. Students are gonna probably try to take 4 students to grab a leader out. We're gonna wrestle, but when it comes to discipline, we will not touch your son or daughter. So all we have is respect. And that is actually the one that we will send students home for. If they are disrespectful, we can't, because we can't control them. Because I'll be honest with these students, if you wanted to at any time, you could mute and go, forget you, Trav, we're out of here. And we couldn't do anything. We can't touch you and all that. So guess what? They're getting sent home. So that's why it's critical that if you're worried that's your son or daughter, can you help us out? Tell them now, because I don't want to have to be calling you later. You might get a phone call and you were worried it was because your kid got hurt. They didn't get hurt. They're disrespectful. Can you come pick them up right now? So please, can you help us out with that? And the last one is no complaining. Students, I have no clue what's going to happen. We had one year where our trailer truck broke down and we all got to our first site and we were sleeping out in the open and we didn't have our supplies. And I remember we slept, it was crazy. It's like 2 a.m. We're like, we got to get some sleep. So we just slept out in the open with nothing. It was like 102 degrees. It was miserable. But you know what's crazy is no one complained. And that trip ended up being the best trip we ever did because the way we bonded, it was amazing, parents. And I think it's because we didn't complain. And so I don't know what God's going to send our way. We had one year where it rained. Remember, we don't sleep in tents. We had one year where it rained. It was insane. It rarely happens. And it was crazy, but it was one of the most amazing trips because of those experiences. So if you guys help me out, no complaining. Parents, one way you can help me is be praying. Be praying that God works in your son and daughter's life this week. Be praying for safety. Listen, we are taking 12 to 15 vehicles up the freeway. We've been doing it for years, and it is crazy. But we have had no major injuries. In fact, no major injuries besides, there's a couple minor ones. One, we had somebody get appendicitis, which it's like, okay, that sucks, and we were able to deal with it. But that's it. And I think it's because of prayer. I do believe God answers prayer. And so you can just be praying that God protects us, keeps us safe. And if you can also just be praying for our leaders that they don't go insane this week. But no, they're fine. They're used to this, but they can always use our prayer. A couple more things before you go. If you haven't finished making your payments and you go on, you're like, it's saying it's not available. I am sorry. This is a new thing. We've never had 2 payments available thing. And I just found out 2 days ago or yesterday that there was a date thing that had it closed last week. So you couldn't have repaid this week. I did fix it yesterday. So if you're like, oh, I still need it, you can now do that. okay? And it should work. It's going to work till Saturday for 7th grade, and I think, Friday or Saturday for 7th grade, and I think Friday or Saturday the next week for 8th grade trip. If you have not filled out that permission slip, we have 13 7th graders who have not turned theirs in yet and 14 8th graders. If you have not done that, unless you just did it now, I can look on my computer. But if you're like, I don't know if I have or have not, you can go to that back table over there and they will tell you. They even have some hard copies, even though I'd rather you do it online, but the hard copies are fine. That would help me out. And then also we have one announcement that's very important because it's coming up quick. And so parents who thought since you're here, we have something called Beach T&L coming up August 9th. Okay, it's a week and a half after the second Whitewater trip. It is awesome. It's T&L at the beach from 5 to 8. We're going to be at Lifeguard Tower 18. We're normally at 14 for beach days. It's 18. It's the one the farthest down where there's a circle back there. It's going to be a Tuesday night, 5 to 8. And if you guys can go online and sign up, you don't have to pay yet. That's just letting us know so we know how much Chick-fil-A to order. We're ordering Chick-fil-A. And so we want to have an idea. They want us to know almost a week before. If parents, if you have friends that you know are like that maybe don't go to the church, but you know that they would want to go, you can sign them up too. But that would help us out. The more we can get signed up before a week before is nice because Chick-fil-A wants those numbers for us. But it's going to be amazing at the beach, us just hanging out and doing fun stuff in the sand. It's going to be cool. Otherwise, if you have any questions, I am going to jump down there and I will answer all your questions and try to make you feel comfortable. But let me go and close in prayer, and then you, 7th, 8th graders, you guys can take off real quick to junior high room or to the edge because we're going to miss you there soon. And then parents, if you have questions, you're welcome to come line up and ask me questions. Let me go and pray. Dear God, again, I just want to thank you so much for who you are, Lord. Lord, I just pray again for safety on this trip, Lord. I pray that our students would come back with their lives changed, Lord. Lord, I pray for our parents, that you would be with them. And Lord, we just pray that you would continue to do amazing things in our lives. We love you so much. And in your name, amen.